Watch Clinched TV right now.
I'm Tochku Michael. Keep watching Transit TV.
Transit TV back again, Championship Sunday. It was always going to be tricky going to the last day of the season. You know, 5 teams will make it to Champions League this season, and by the beginning of today, it was just 2 teams that were guaranteed to make it to Champions League, Liverpool and Arsenal. Manchester City needed just a draw, or maybe even losing their game, but results either other places go their way to confirm their position, their 3rd position on the table. And we had 4 other teams: Aston Villa, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea, jostling for the remaining 2 slots. And that was very, very interesting. And not just that they were in this battle, but they also had some tricky fixtures. You remember, Everton has been strong since Moyes took over that team, and they were traveling away to Newcastle, who are very, very strong at home. So it was always going to be a tricky fixture for Newcastle, and that it turned out to be, and they lost at home today. And on the other hand, Nottingham Forest have had a very good season, and one would have thought that somehow playing at home, presented a very tricky fixture for Chelsea as well, who needed at least a draw in that game to qualify, depending on what happened in other places. But one result that looked like it was guaranteed was Aston Villa traveling to Old Trafford, a place where Manchester United have lost so many games this season. And because of the form and the quality of Aston Villa, you would think that they will wrap that one up. And looking at what happened to United on Thursday in the Europa Cup final on Wednesday, actually. And what happened? Aston Villa lost that game 2-0. And this was due to what I would call stupidity in the hand of Emi Martinez, who has that in his locker, actually. Put his team under serious pressure and very precarious situation by getting a red card, knowing he was the last one, on something that wasn't really, I don't think, it was just uncalled for. And once Villa went 1 man down at Old Trafford, and considering the pressure that they were on and the emotions of the day, they didn't look the same, and they lost that game 2-0. Eriksen scored the second goal through a penalty. And another surprise of the day was Newcastle losing to Everton. Yes, I'm not surprised, but to many, I'm sure they will be. But somehow Newcastle still made it because Aston Villa lost and Nottingham Forest lost as well. So they have 66 points and the same points with Aston Villa, but they just made it on goal difference. And Nottingham Forest losing out because they lost their game 1-0 to Chelsea. That game was the one that I was very, very interested in. Chelsea, because of what the Nottingham Forest have done all through the season, you think that somehow they will nick it off Chelsea. But Chelsea came into this one a very, very strong approach, putting Nottingham Forest under serious pressure, and got their goal as well, and never looked like they were going to concede. And even if they had conceded, because Nottingham Forest need to score 2 goals, so that confidence, that cushion, helped Chelsea to stabilize their game, and they went through. And talking at that game, because that was a game I really paid attention to. You could see it summarized Chelsea's season, especially from Sanchez's perspective. They were on the front foot, doing very well, putting Nottingham Forest under serious pressure until Sanchez did his trademark thing that he does. You had a very stupid clearance, and it swung the momentum in favor of Chelsea. It took them over 30 minutes to get out of that pressure. In fact, almost to the end of first half. And coming to second half, they probably adjusted 1 or 2 things, and the game came back to how it was again. I think Nottingham Forest left it too late before they went on the front foot. And once Chelsea got that goal, you were always guaranteed that they were going to see it through. So we have Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City in 3rd position, Chelsea in the 4th position, and Newcastle in the 5th position, 66 points, same point with Aston Villa, like I said. And Nottingham Forest should, they make it to Europe. They are playing in the Europa Cup this next season. They should be part of themselves. Nuno Espirito Santo, he needs to be, for me, of course, I'm sure he had a shout on the manager of the season, and rightly so. He has done a great job with Nottingham Forest. Nobody would have predicted this one, and we'll now wait and see how they're going to manage playing in Europe and playing in EPL. We've seen Brighton, we've seen Leicester City struggle with these qualifications. I know Nottingham Forest had a big squad 2 seasons ago. I don't know if those players were loaned out or they were actually sold. It might come in handy now to help them to manage their season next season. So let me know what was your prediction. You remember my prediction was Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City. I put Aston Villa there and Newcastle, but I got it wrong. The gang will come in. Boom and Arnold will be looking at this one, looking at predictions and how it finally ended up. It was an interesting weekend, and looks like and this is how it's supposed to be. This is the excitement that fans have going into the last day of the season. I was watching 3 games. I also put my eye on results elsewhere. I was watching the Arsenal game, obviously, as an Arsenal fan. Watched the Chelsea game. That was the one I was interested in because I felt that Nottingham Forest could pull something out of the bag. And I also watched the Aston Villa Manchester United game. And let me know what you think about this Championship Sunday. And we will see you again tomorrow when the gang will be here to talk about the season. And we'll see you again next time. Ciao.